제가 디슈슈기 안데 좀 전에 같이 가서 전부 다 이거 주기도 와. 동의녀 시외 니시디人力去谈论不就嘛到真正的虽然来的맞다现在是啦写的你抽签那些个在这个到南特别宽了的呢到台北国王主管的他们这边国王主管什么因为在呢那真正的这些东西
So
你明确了他在南边去他把让了写的是
So here, in fact, it's actually quite important when in the final section of the text, Buddha endorses the discourse that has just taken place between Avalokiteshvara and Shadraputra, when he says that, "O noble child, it is just so, it should be just so." And this is making a very important statement from the Buddha's point of view, because for the followers of the Buddha who aspire for attainment of Buddhahood, it is important to recognize that Buddhahood is not something that the Buddha can just give to you. The Buddha can only show the path, and it is up to the individual, each of us, to then pursue that path and make the Buddhahood real for ourselves. There's also another passage in one of the sutras, and where the Buddha says that I shall show you the path that leads to liberation, but remember that the liberation lies in your own hand. Similarly, in another sutra, Buddha says that the Buddhas cannot wash away the negative karma of sentient beings, nor can they literally take away by hand the suffering of sentient beings, nor can he transform his own inner realization into the mind of the sentient beings. Only by showing the path of the truth, that others, the beings, sentient beings, will attain freedom. By showing the truth of reality, that the sentient beings will attain freedom.
Now at the end,
so at the end, we will perform a short ceremony of generating bodhicitta, the awakening mind. And the text for that is on page 24, actually at the end of Heart Sutra.
Yeah. That's enough.
So for the purpose of this ceremony, imagine at the place of the Buddha Shakyamuni Tanka behind me, the presence of the historical Buddha Shakyamuni, surrounded by a great retinue of the masters of Nalanda tradition. For example, I have created a list of 17 great masters of Nalanda. Imagine their presence here around Buddha, and also around Buddha, all the great masters of the various lineages of the Tibetan tradition. And so in their presence, then imagine engaging in the practice of the 7 limbs, beginning with making prostrations, declaration and purification of your negative karma, cultivating rejoicing in one's and others' virtues, and making request for the Buddhas to turn the wheel of Dharma, requesting them not to enter into Nirvana, and finally dedicating the merits. So imagine performing these 7-limb practice, and then the actual ceremony is consist in repeating, reciting the stanzas here 3 times together. So let's read these passages together. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Infused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world.
Those people who consider themselves as a Buddhist, then is thinking is in this line, and then those like our Christian brothers and sisters, is visualize or remember Jesus Christ and make some kind of pledge. Now on, my body, speech, and mind totally dedicated to God and dedicated to all creatures. Right? So similarly, if there are some practitioner of Islam, similar, visualize Allah and you dedicate totally to Allah, and in order to fulfill the wish of Allah, our life be dedicated for the entire creatures. Like that. Then non-believer simply keep warm-heartedness, keep more altruistic attitude, you get maximum benefit. Like that. Keep hatred, anger, jealousy. First casualty is oneself. We ourselves suffer. And hatred will not harm directly towards the person whom you feel hate. So as a result, so you yourself become first casualty. So eventually, the person to whom you feel hate may feel happy. Now my enemy really suffer and too much stress, too much worry. So no sleep, no appetite. Appetite. So it actually fulfilled their wish. So it is foolish, isn't it? Now, if you really hate the other person, then you should keep very calm, very peaceful, and utilize your intelligence and how to, what is the best way to hit most. Like that. So therefore, even non-believer, you see, it is very important to develop altruistic attitude. Repeat that.
So let's now carry on with the recitation. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world.
So thank you now, completed. Then as I mentioned before, those people who traditionally, Buddhist community, it is our own religion.